So by now you know that I love going to Dollar Tree and finding these cool items that I can recreate and use in multiple ways. This video is filled with tons of Dollar Tree inspiration. Let's get to it.
On a recent trip to Dollar Tree, I found these beautiful wrapping papers, and you know I love wrapping paper and crafting with them. I brought several of the styles home, and I am going to transform this farmhouse truck. I'm not going to pretend you haven't seen like about 100 versions of these farmhouse trucks, but I'm going to give you one more idea. I am going to cut a piece of the wrapping paper to fit the truck, and then I'm going to cover with some masking tape the little rails portion. I'm going to spray the top of the farmhouse truck with some adhesive spray, and then the piece that I cut of wrapping paper was actually backwards, so I had to cut another piece, placed it on top, and now I'm just cutting off the excess paper from all around the edges. I'm also going to poke where all the little like wheels and the windows are. And then I'm going to use a technique that I learned from my upcycled life. I love this technique. You take a lighter just like this and you just very carefully, of course, burn the edges. They're going to burn just all the way up to the edge of the wood. This has to be done in a ventilated place. Make sure that you have water near you. Just take all the precautions as needed. But the effect that it gives it is stunning. It burns all the way down to the edge and it gives it this burnt vintage antique look that I really love. Look how stunning that looks. I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. I'm just going to cut off that top portion where the masking tape was and just going to remove it. Look how pretty it's already looking. You can leave it like this with the brown tone. I did decide to paint it white. I'm just going to use some Waverly chalk pen in the white. And then I'm going to use some antiquing wax by Waverly. And I'm just going to antique it just a little bit all around the edges. This is just going to add a little bit more character. And it's also going to match the style overall. I'm going to take these little cute little flowers. I believe I got these. I don't think it was at Dollar Tree. I think it was Walmart. I'm just going to cut a couple little branches and hot glue them to the back of the truck. That way it's going to look like the bed of the truck is filled with these beautiful flowers. I'm going to cover the back with some masking tape just to make it a little cleaner and smoother. Then I'm going to take my little nail filer here. I'm just going to smooth off just those little flaky edges just a little bit. I'm going to add a couple of these wooden blocks from Dollar Tree behind each tire. That way it's going to be able to be standing up, and I love this one. I cannot believe how beautiful it looks. Such a beautiful decor to add to your Valentine's Day. For the next Dollar Tree craft, I'm going to take this galvanized heart I found in the crafting section. I removed the tag, and then I'm going to take this beautiful wrapping paper. It has this beautiful pink tone with these hearts on it. And I'm going to cut several strips of about 2 inches. I'm not too worried about them being exactly 2 inches. I'm just going to cut several strips as close as possible to the same size of each other. I'm going to join them together, and then I'm going to cut them in pieces that are 4-inch wide. I'm going to stack them up, and then I'm going to take 2 at a time, and I'm just going to face them back to back, and I'm going to fold them and just kind of scrunch them on the bottom to make a little something like this. Then I'm going to make a whole ton of them because we are going to start hot gluing them inside the heart. The key to this is to make sure that you are hot gluing them as close to each other as possible. But don't stress if you can see a little bit of the galvanized in between. We're going to fix that in a little bit. Friends, I would love to connect with you on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, and I have those links down below in the description box. Check them out when you're done watching this video. So I'm going to add the last one here, but as I mentioned before, you're going to see a little bit through those, and you're going to see some of those galvanized. I'm just going to add a few here and there, right in between where you see the little gaps, and a little bit of hot glue goes a long way. Then I took these little flowers, same ones from earlier, just another little branch. I'm going to take off the leafy greens as well as the flowers, and I'm going to start hot gluing each little flower bud in between here and there the paper. This is just going to add a beautiful touch. And then I'm going to take the greenery leafy part, and I'm going to cut them into separate little leaves, and then I'm just going to hot glue them here and there to add that vibrant touch of green. I think the green really made a huge difference. It's just stunning. I left the jute string, but I think ribbon will look beautiful. Look how stunning this looks. It's definitely one of my favorites from today. I love the vibrant pink. Stunning. For the next Dollar Tree craft, I'm going to take 3 of these galvanized hearts that you can find in the crafting section of Dollar Tree. I grabbed 3 because I have a plan for them. Look at this beautiful wrapping paper. Wow, this one is stunning. I'm going to open it up. I'm just going to place all 3 hearts right next to each other, and I'm going to trace them. Nothing perfect, really just tracing them. And once I have them traced, I'm going to cut each and every one of them separately. Again, not looking for perfect cut because we are going to make these hearts smaller than what they already are. Once I have them cut, I'm going to fold them in half, and then I am going to cut about a 1/2 inch inside of the edge of each heart. This is going to give me a smaller heart, nicely cut, that's going to fit right in the center of the galvanized heart with a nice edge showing. Friends, I just recently updated my website. I love for you to take a look at it. It is linked below in the description box. And also visit my blog, which is right in there. Follow me there. You're going to get tons more of information. I am now going to take the Gorilla adhesive spray once again. I'm just going to spray the back of the paper of each heart. And then I'm going to place them in the center of each galvanized heart. I'm going to just lightly press it. And then I'm going to start from the bottom up and just kind of fold and press in between each ridge. That way we're going to keep the beautiful design that these galvanized hearts have. And it's very easy. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other 2 hearts. And now that I have them done, I'm going to flip them over and I'm going to set them one on top of each other, just like you see, just about 2 inches apart from each other. Then I'm going to take this beautiful lace ribbon from Dollar Tree and I'm going to hot glue it all the way from the bottom to the top. What I'm going to do on the top here is I am going to fold it just like that, just loop it. I'm going to cut off the excess and hot glue it to itself. This is going to give me a portion on the top where I can hang the decor from. Look how beautiful it already looks. I'm going to take these roses from Dollar Tree and I'm going to cut 3 of them. I'm going to take the leafy part portion first and I'm going to hot glue it on the top of each heart. I'm going to take the rose apart and then I'm going to cut off just a little bit of the remaining stem of the rose and hot glue it on top of each leafy green. Again, that green really just makes this beautiful touch of color, and I think this one is just so beautiful. It is quite large, and I just love that these galvanized hearts, that beautiful shape. I just think it's stunning. For the next Dollar Tree craft, I am going to take these wooden shelf. You can find these in the picture frame area, and I'm just going to cut off a piece of the same rose wrapping paper, and I'm going to start tearing the sides. I love using this technique. I'm going to use the same wooden shelf to guide me because I want it to look torn, but not too much. So I'm just going to do the same thing on all edges. That way, all of them are going to have that nice torn look. I'm going to dry fit it just to see if I need to cut more, and I did. The sides were just a little too snug, so I'm just going to cut about another 1/4 inch, and that did the work. I'm going to bring in some white paint. This is just going to paint the edges. I don't need the whole thing painted because you're not going to see the whole thing, but you are going to see those edges. So I'm just going to paint it with some white Waverly chalk paint and let that dry. I'm going to take these wooden numbers from Dollar Tree. I'm going to grab number 4, number 1, and number 2. This is going to be for February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. I'm going to paint him in this beautiful green color by Bear, and I am going to just let that dry. 1 coat was sufficient. I'm going to take some Mod Podge, and I way overdid it. I don't know what I was thinking. I weighed too much on it, but I did grab a little towel, and I just removed the excess. I don't know what I was thinking. I just took my time very patiently, and I just got it until it was nice, thin coat. Once I had it where I wanted, I'm just going to place the paper right on top. It did get some bubbles. I have lost my battle with Mod Podge. I don't know what to do, but I have learned to just appreciate the bubbles. I flattened them out as much as I could, and then I took the 2, the 1, and the 4, placed them to the bottom right. I'm going to hot glue them in place, but I'm going to leave a little space in between the 1 and the 2. And that is about it for this one. What a beautiful concept. I love having the 2, the 1, and the 4. I think it's just very clever, very subtle. And I love the paper, and I love the way it looks. For the next wrapping paper hack, I am going to take this thrifted flag sign that I found at Goodwill, and I'm just going to sand down just a little bit because it had a little bit of a rough edge to it, just a little bit of a rough feel. I'm going to paint the edges just like I did the previous one. This one's going to be a little bit like the previous one, but I'm going to show you something different. I'm going to take this beautiful wrapping paper. Now, this one's not from Dollar Tree. I did find this one at, I think it was Home Goods. It was such a great quality, and the design was beautiful. But you can do this with any Dollar Tree wrapping paper. I'm going to mark, kind of like with my fingers, where those edges are, and then I'm going to tear again. Again, I said that it's going to be similar to the one before, but this time I'm not going to have anything guide me. I'm going to tear it up, literally. I want these tear to be thick, very torn. Once I had it where I wanted, I'm going to add Mod Podge once again. This time I was very, very careful. I just added it until I had a thin coat. And then I'm going to place it just like I did the other one right in the center. I got bubbles in this one again, even using the little roller. I don't know what to do. But in the end, it turned out fine. I'm going to add some Mod Podge on this one right on top to seal it. This wrapping paper is thicker, so I want it to be nice and protected. Once I had it in place and all dry, I am going to sand it down. This is going to give it a little bit more of distressed look, farmhouse look. I did end up distressing the edges just a little bit more with my sanding block. Once I had them in place, I'm going to take these beautiful little flowers that I got at Dollar Tree and some greenery, grassy ones, and I'm going to place them right in the center. I'm going to drill a couple of holes on each side of the bundle. I'm going to thread some jute string so that we can tie them on the back. Once I had it in place, I'm going to take some burlap ribbon. I'm just going to make a very simple bow. I'm going to loop it, scrunch it in the center. I'm going to tie it with some jute string, and I'm going to angle cut the legs. I'm not scared to take a chance. Yeah, I'm so happy that I found you. And you know when you know that I'm yours. I'm going to hot glue it right where the jute string is, and this is just going to add a nice touch and also hide the jute string. I'm going to cut off the excess stems from the bottom. I'm going to add a sawtooth hook to the back of it so that we can hang it. And that's it for this one. I gotta say, this one is so beautiful. It has more neutral colors, but still very beautiful. Love the size and the quality of it because it's real wood. I think it's beautiful. But I am biased because I made them, but I'd love to know which one is your favorite and what you think of them. And of course, as always, I have another video here for you. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.